Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nxumalo. You can also call me Jen. So in this channel, we do a lot of career talk. We do a lot of lifestyle content as well as financial content. And speaking of financial content, on today's video, we're going to be doing my favorite video of the month, which is my monthly reset. Guys, the year is ending and honestly, it needs to go faster because I'm tired. I'm honestly tired. I think around this time of the year, almost everyone feels that thing that, you know what, we are just exhausted. The idea of waking up and going to work, it is just exhausting on its own. So without rambling on and on, yes, I do want this year to end, but it's a good feeling that I'm actually doing my November reset because that's a good sign. So what I normally do on my monthly reset is I review the previous month and then we talk about the planning for the month that we are going to be starting. First thing we're going to do is to review October. How did it go? How did I meet my goals? And then look at the finances briefly. And then we are going to go into November. So let us get into it. This is my good hand dandy journal. So as you saw last month, when I bought actually insets for the journal because the other one had finished, and this one, so in the journal you are able to put 2 insets at the same time. So this is the new one which I haven't started, and I pretty much want to start it next year. So currently I'm working on this one, and this one is very much finished. I think we're left with around 3 pages if I'm correct. So we are going to go into October. So this was the spread that we had for October. So as you can see, I actually enjoyed doing this spread because I felt like I gave myself more time and I was more so like just allowing myself to just do what I feel like makes sense at that time, and I like it. So let's just first get into October. We're going to go straight into our goals. The first thing is when it comes, I had health, personal and financial goals. I had health, personal, financial, and home goals, and I'm gonna put a screen right here so that you guys can go along with me as I'm actually going through these goals. So the first thing is our health goals. So the first thing that I wanted to do when it comes to my health is to exercise at least 3 times a day. Did I do this? Nope, I did not do this. And I wish that I can do better, but I did not do this. But however, I've been continuing to walk, and I've also been taking stairs at work instead of taking the elevator. And then another goal that I had was to drink water. Now when it comes to drinking water, I actually improve when it comes to this. However, when I'm at work, I struggle because we really don't have good water in our taps, and so when we run out of the water that we normally buy, it makes it hard for me to drink as much water as I would like. However, I've been improving when it comes to drinking more water, and I want to do much better with that as well. Then we come into our personal goals. Continue with therapy. Yes, I did this. I did my second session with my therapist, and this time around it was online. And then another goal that I had under personal is to make self-care a priority. I will take this because, as I said, self-care for me is different from what I normally see online, and so I would say that I did do this. Doesn't matter how many times I did this or to what extent I did this, but the fact that is I did it. And then another thing is to start journaling. This was very hard for me. This is a homework that my therapist gave me, and for a long time this month it was very hard for me to actually do this. I just didn't have the time, the energy, and I also didn't feel like doing it. But I eventually did it. I eventually started. And I'm going to continue. I don't journal every day, but when I'm able to bring myself to do it, I do it. And then let's get into financial goals. So the first thing is I want to save for December, and my target is 3,000. Currently, as we're speaking in October, I'm filming this video today. It is the 22nd of October. So we still have another week. And so I'm still going to get paid in November. But right now, as I'm speaking to you, we have 1,500. And I'm hoping that, next month, I'm going to see how much I'll be able to save. But my goal is to make sure that by end of the year, we have at least 3,000. Not we. I have 3,000. Who am I talking about? And then last goal under financial, it is to book flight ticket for Cape Town. We did this. I was able to save around 6,000, and my partner also was able to meet us halfway, and then we're able to actually book the ticket to Ekapa, and I'm looking forward to it. So now that we have booked that, we start with the second part now, which is accommodation. And I feel like we did ourselves a favor by actually focusing on one thing at a time. Instead of saying, flights and accommodation, this is how much it's going to be, and then start saving. It can feel very overwhelming. So it's just by breaking it up to say, we're going to focus on the flight first. Once we've booked the flight, we have no choice but to go. And then we are going to start saving for accommodation. So that's what we are doing now. And I feel like that is more realistic for us. And then the last part of our goals is home. First one is to organize my wardrobe. I did this. I think by the time you are watching this video, you would have seen my wardrobe refresh, because it's something that I've been meaning to do. So I did this. I'm going to tick that, and then get more items for my bedroom. I did not do this. Let us get into my October budget. We're going to briefly look at it. And then so the first thing that what I'm going to do is, instead of me taking you through my October budget, which is something that we did when we're doing the research, we're just going to go through the things that I didn't do, or the things that changed. So the first thing is under savings. Normally, I have an educational fund, which I save for my daughter. I have a building fund, emergency fund, and then I have a holiday fund that I'm saving for. Now, when I say holiday fund, that's actually December, and then Stockfell, and then my sister. So something that I didn't do this month was I couldn't save for my daughter's education fund, and so I paused that. And the reason why I didn't save for her in October is because there's just a lot that needed my attention financially. As I said, we're trying to book for the flight tickets, and I also needed to do other things. So I decided that, you know what, it's fine. She's still very young. We're talking about, this is savings for her until she's 18. So I can afford to miss 1 month there and there. And then in times where I get more money than I expect, then I can double it up, However, if there are months where I'm really feeling the pinch, or I really need to focus on other things, there I can actually afford to pause for that month and then continue the following month. And so I didn't save that 1,000. I used that 1,000 somewhere else. The building fund, I also didn't save for that in the month of October. I took that money towards actually the flight tickets as well, because I had saved 3,000 in September, and so I needed another 3,000 in October. And so if I wanted to do that, that means that there were certain things that I needed to pause. And so I was okay with pausing the building fund. I was okay with pausing the education fund. And then I was able to come up with 500 rand somewhere else, and then it came up to 3,000, and we're able to book those tickets. And then my electricity, I had budgeted 1,300, and my bill came back as 1,061 rand. 1,061 rands. So that meant that I was able to save a little bit and actually use that money somewhere else. And that is it for the month of October when it comes to my finances. So what we are going to get into now is our November. So let us get into it. So this is my spread for November, very similar to the one that I did last month, and I'm happy with how this looks. It looks pretty, it looks the way that I wanted it to look, and it mimics what October looked like, and I'm gonna carry on with this. Now, I decided that when it comes to these images, I took this one from Pinterest, by the way, and I printed it and then I just pasted it here. When it comes to these images, what I want to do is I want to put images like this that speak to where I am in life in that month, like in that moment. And when I was looking at this image, it just took it made me realize, it made me reflect on the fact that currently I'm at a stage whereby I really am I'm trying my best to prioritize myself financially, emotionally, and mentally. And I feel like I need that right now in my life. And so this image is just the perfect fit of where I am currently. So the first one is, okay, we have four main goals, four main categories of goals. So personal, YouTube, health, and financial. So the first one, when it comes to personal, I want to continue with therapy. This is something that I have been benefiting from. Almost every time after speaking to my therapy, I feel the relief in me, and so I want to continue doing this. Read one book. Now, I may not have put this in the other parts, but I'm just going to talk about this book. So read one book for November. I definitely want to do that. This is the book that I was reading for October, and yabona matwa into itlo hater. This book, it hurt me. It hurt me. Like, you know, when you're reading something and it just takes you through different emotions? That is this book. I don't want to spoil it, but I would say that if you haven't read this book and if you are open to reading fiction, as I said, for me, I really wanted to just pause with self-help books and focus and just read a fiction book where I don't have to be trying to perfect my life or get better in my life. Like, I just wanted something that would just take my mind away of things. And so this book did exactly that. It did exactly that. And this book is amazing. This book is really, really amazing. Like, if you haven't read it, please read it. But I need to get myself another book to read in the month of November. I also need to get myself a book for December. But I think for December, I'm going to get myself either the 12 week what book, or I'll get myself the 5 a.m. morning club book. It's just that I've wanted to read that book, but I feel like people like to hype things a lot, and then I don't like to do things because people do it. I want to do it because I want to do it. So I wanted to read that book, but I just felt like it was not the right time. But leading to the new year, I feel like I want to read it, because if there's one thing about that author of the 5 a.m. morning club, whatever, there are books that I've read from him, the whatever monk, and they changed my life. And I started waking up early in the morning and being more intentional. And so I know that that book will give me something like that, something that I will need to start the new year with a bang. So I think that's a book I might read in December, but in November, I definitely want another fiction book. And then prioritize self-care. I still want to continue doing this. And then when it comes to this YouTube goal, when it comes to YouTube, my goal is to reach 4,500 subscribers. Now, as we're speaking, we have around 3,690 something subscribers, which means that if I'm thinking about it, by the time we get to the end of October, since we still have another week to go, by the way, I think that we would have reached 4,000. I think we would have reached 4,000. If not 4,000, we would have come very close, maybe around 3,800 or maybe 3,900. But my goal is for November is to reach 4,500, because my main goal for the year is to reach 5,000 subscribers. Like, I would like to close off this year with 5,000 subscribers. Okay, and then for the health goals, I want to drink more water. So this is definitely something that I'm going to continue doing. Continue working out. I don't know why I said continue working out as if I worked out last month. I didn't work out this month. I didn't work out. So I need to start working out. And I told myself that from Monday, this is Saturday, from Monday, I want to start working out. And then come to the last part of our goals, which is the financial. First one is to save for Cape Town. Now, this part of saving for Cape Town now is for accommodation. And my goal is to make sure that I save at least 3,000 on my side. Then we'll see how that goes. And then another thing that I have to do this month when it comes to my financial goal is to book my driving lessons. So here's the thing, and please don't laugh at me and don't judge. I've had my driving license from 2015. I got it when I was still in varsity. And since then, since 2015 up until now, I haven't been driving. Once in a while, in the seldom moon, I will try to drive my partner's car, but I'm not comfortable in the road. I'm not comfortable on the road. And by the way, his car is an automatic, but I'm not comfortable. I'm not that good. So I really want to be more intentional now when it comes to learning how to drive, so that when there's a need for me to hire a car, especially during December, I can be able to do that. Just hire a car and go home. Or if there's a need for me to eventually buy a car, then I can be able to comfortably do that, knowing that I'll be able to drive my car from the garage to my house. But currently, as we're speaking, I don't know how to drive. Yes, I have a driving license, code 8, but I don't know how to drive because it's been that long since I have been driving. And so I decided that I'm going to get myself driving lessons and I'm going to pay for them. So I found a driving school. I searched and I found a driving school. Actually, I didn't even search. I've been looking around, and these cars, they have writings outside. So I saw one and I called them, very affordable and umzulu wakithi. So I'm looking forward to actually starting my lessons with them. And then another last thing that I want to do is to save for December. Now, when I'm saving for December, this is December holidays, I would like to save 1,000. However, in my budget, I put 500. If it happens that there's some money that is left, then I'll channel it there, or I'll channel it to the part of Cape Town. I'll see. But in December, I'm going to have more savings because there's a lot of things that I'm not going to be paying for in December. And so I'm not really worried about this part, so long as we can get to 2,000 in November, then that means that in December I just have to add 1,000, then I'm done. So that is it for my November goals and my planning. And now we are going to get into my November budget. So when it comes to my savings, I'm not saving for a lot of things this month because there's a lot of things that need me, So the first thing that is not here, that is normally here, is the building fund. I'm not saving for the building fund because if I'm going to try and stretch myself that much, I'm going to go crazy. And so I'm just going to keep it basic to my emergency fund, education fund, Stockfell, December, and my sister. That is how we are going to save this month. So when I'm looking at it, it's approximately, all in all, it's around 3,710. 5, 6, 7. Yes, it's actually 3,710. That's the lowest money I've saved in a month. And I think it's actually equivalent to what I saved in October. But I'm not worried about this, you guys. Like, sometimes what I feel like doing, what I know is, it's better to know that you can tap into the resources in order to meet whatever that you need to meet in that month than to go borrow. And so the fact that I'm able to say, okay, I'm pausing on the savings so that I can do this, that for me, I actually count that as a positive. And I'm grateful for that because it means that I've gotten in a good place when it comes to my finances. And then so I'm not worried about saving this low of an amount. I'm okay. I'm actually okay, but for the fact that at least I'm saving something. Okay, and then when it comes to my weekly allocation, this time around I just made it clear that my weekly allocation starts on the 15th. So that's the first week, 22nd, 29th, and the 6th. And I'm going to, from my salary, it's going to be 1,000 that I'm going to put aside for this. And then the 700 is going to come from the stokvel that I do with my sister, and then the rest will come from my partner. So that's about it when it comes to my weekly allocation. So from my salary, it's going to be 1,000 that I have to worry about. And then when it comes to my expenses, they are pretty much the same, you guys. However, with my water and electricity, I put 1,200, but I'm hoping it will be less than that because we are in spring and it is very hot. And so I don't really use geyser a lot. And I hope that that is going to reflect on the statement. And I'm hoping that it will be less than 1,000 this month. But I'm just crossing my fingers. We'll see how that goes. And then what else can I talk about here when it comes to my expenses? Okay. My expenses, it's the driving, the first one that I talked about in my goals, that I want to go for driving lessons. Now, I want to go for 10 lessons, which is an hour long each lesson. But I'm going to break them. I'm going to do the first maybe 7 lessons or 6 lessons, and then I'll add later on. So that's my goal. Right now, I want to save around 1,200 for the driving lessons, and then for Cape Town it is 3,000 that I want to actually save for the trip. So I'm hoping that the 3,000 will be actually conducive for because it's not only me who's saving, I'm also saving with my partner. So when we put our resources together, I'm hoping that whatever accommodation that we find, because we're not going to be there for a long time, I think we're going to be there for like 3 nights. 3 nights. And so I don't think that we need to have, if we are going to go with Airbnb, I don't think we're going to struggle with affordable accommodation. So that is it when it comes to my budget and my November goals as well. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I share this every month, and I actually look forward to doing these videos every month because I find them very relaxing for me, and I find that they make me look forward to the beginning of a new month and the progress of the year as well. And I think the last thing that I just wanted to talk about is to just add something that I don't normally do, which this is not always going to be here because as you know, you guys, I'm not really a spender. I'm not a spender, and I'm not going to have a lot of things to talk about when it comes to monthly favorites. However, this month, there are just a few things that I just wanted to talk about when it comes to my monthly favorite, but it's not something that I'm always going to have. Like in October, my month was actually a very low spend month. Like it was more so about saving and meeting the goals rather than spending. So the first thing is this book that I've spoken about. I've told you guys about this book, how good it was. So this was my favorite thing of the month, and I enjoyed reading each and every page of this book. So this is the first thing when it comes to my favorite of the month of October. These things, by the way, I didn't buy them in October. I bought them maybe before or something, but I got to truly enjoy them in October. Like the book, I got to enjoy it in October, but I bought it in September, but I got to enjoy it in October. And so I count it as my October favorite because I actually enjoyed it in October. Then the second thing that I have is this tripod right here. I got this tripod from Mr. Price, and it's just a simple tripod, you guys. It's a handheld tripod. So for a person that uses a phone, this for me has been a lifesaver. I find that it's very good when it comes to vlogging, especially when I'm on my way to work and all the stuff, because it's very small, compact, and it fits very nicely in my bag. So I got this for less than 200 rands at Mr. Price. I think I got it for like 100 rands, and it is a very good tripod. It also extends right here. It extends like this. So if, let's say, you want to put it down, you can have it down like that. And so also here, I was just looking at it, that if, let's say, you have a camera, you can put it right here, but I don't know if it is big enough to hold a camera. But this, for me, as a person who uses my phone to vlog, has really been conducive, light, and I've really been enjoying vlogging. because of it. I've really been enjoying to vlogging because of it. So this is also my October favorite. So the book and the tripod were my October favorite, and as I said, I got this from Mr. Price. Do check it out. It is very affordable because I had been looking at Take a Lot, and Take a Lot sometimes can be pricey. But in Mr. Price, you can find this, depending on the type of Mr. Price that you have next to you. But where I stay, they sell such things. They even sell ring lights, but those ring lights are too small. Looks like it's for kids. So that is it for my November reset. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you also enjoyed looking at my plans with me and my goals. And I'm going to be really working hard to be more intentional with my personal goals and my health goals, because I feel like I've been lagging, especially my health goals. I've been lagging behind when it comes to that, and I really want to hone into that leading up to December so that I can start January with a bang and strong. So with that being said, thank you very much. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up, because that does help with the YouTube algorithm. And also subscribe and join the family if you enjoy the content that I serve in this channel. So I will see you on the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.